Friday, January 16th, 2015. I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield, and this is episode number 67 of T.E.N, Transport Evolved News for the week beginning January 12th, 2015. T.E.N is brought to you by freeconference.co.uk, bringing you the latest in transportation news with a future of low-cost conference calls. Make conference calls anywhere in the world for just the cost of one local call. Visit www.freeconference.co.uk today. Okay, so this first story actually broke last Friday after we'd already filmed the show last week, but we think you'll agree it's cool enough to get an honourable mention in this week's show. Last Friday, Japanese automaker Nissan and NASA, yes, the folks who send big rockets into space and do super cool science experiments on Earth and beyond, announced a joint 5-year partnership into autonomous vehicles. Building on the advances each has made to date, Nissan and NASA will focus initially on building a proof of concept, remotely controlled autonomous vehicle, with the aim to have a demonstration vehicle travelling the roads near NASA's California Ames Research Center by the end of the year. Ultimately, however, it could lead to autonomous vehicles hitting the roads both on planet Earth and beyond, as far afield as Mars, for example. Totally cool. After months of sneak peeks, and we really do mean months, the 2016 Chevrolet Volt received its official unveiling on Monday at the North American International Auto Show in Detroit. As we've discussed before, the new Volt is leaner and meaner than its predecessor, but this week we found out that those promised improvements in fuel efficiency and all-electric range. Internally, GM is claiming a 50-mile EV operation from a slightly larger 18.4 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack from the predecessor and a range-extending gas mileage of 41 mpg combined. Official prices have yet to be set, but we can confirm that the Volt is now available as a 5-seat hatchback. That's if you're the kind of person who doesn't mind sitting in the middle seat straddling the battery pack to prove that fact. We're not. Also unveiled by GM in its official Detroit Auto Show press conference was a concept car it has ill-advisedly decided to call the Chevrolet Bolt. No, we're not kidding. While the rest of the world has difficulty differentiating Bolt and Volt, apparently Chevy thinks it's just fine. Anyway, enough of the name and onto the car itself, which is a 200-mile concept car that GM says is a possible look at the future already promised 200-mile affordable, and that means all around the $30,000 mark, electric car. The Bolt, that's Bolt with a B, seats 4, has plenty of onboard tech, and is styled to work well in the busy urban jungle of today's megacities. But as for the name, we'll pass for now. Staying with concept cars and Detroit for a second, Volkswagen used this year's North American International Auto Show to debut the third of 3 concept plug-in SUVs, which it says lay the path towards a promised 7-seat plug-in hybrid SUV, which will enter the market at the end of next year. Called the Volkswagen Cross-Coupe GTE concept, the 5, not 7-seat plug-in reminds us a little of a cross between some sort of Chrysler's more recent station wagons and a Range Rover Sport, but it features a massive 3.6-litre V6 gasoline engine and 2 electric motors to give the perfect balance of power, performance and efficiency. Of course, this is no Tesla Model X, but Volkswagen says the Cross-Coupe GTE, the GTE being an allusion to the GTI performance name badge, can travel around 20 miles in electric-only mode, but can also accelerate from standstill to 60 miles per hour in 6 seconds and return an overall economy rating of 70 mpg. We know lots of our viewers will view this as yet another inadequate attempt at a plug-in, but as far as we're concerned, this concept, and subsequent plug-in production models, will be doing the right thing if they ultimately get more people plugging in. With what we just said fresh in our minds, now's a good time to tell you that the Volkswagen Golf GTE has now officially gone on sale in the UK, priced at £33,035 before incentives. Marketed as Volkswagen's sporty, no-compromise plug-in, the Golf GTE marries a 75 kilowatt electric motor and an 8.8 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack with a 1.4-litre TSI direct injection gasoline engine to provide a plug-in hybrid that's capable of up to 31 miles of claimed range on the NED test cycle, but can also travel longer distance using gasoline alone. Sold alongside the GTI and GTD performance gasoline and diesel models respectively, the GTE is designed to get hardened petrol heads who wouldn't give the all-electric e-Golf the time of day behind the wheel of a plug-in. And from our brief time with it last year, we think it's a great all-rounder for someone who needs electric during the week and longer distance capabilities at the weekend. What's more, the Golf GTE will be available at all of Volkswagen's UK dealers, unlike the e-Golf and e-Up, which are currently only available at designated electric car specialist Volkswagen garages. If it gets more people plugging in, however, we're all for it. If we had £1 or $1 for every time someone told us they'd buy a more fuel-efficient car, say for their once-a-year trip to see Granny in Scotland, we'd be really rich right now. But now a new car swap scheme could be the answer to our eco-friendly dreams. Enter Car Swap, a pilot project currently being trialled at Ford's corporate offices in Dearborn, Michigan. It's a web-based application that makes it easy for car owners to swap cars with someone else when their own car doesn't meet their immediate needs. Say, for example, that you need to tow a trailer full of garden waste to the local tip, but your car doesn't have a tow bar. Simply log into the app, find someone with a tow bar equipped truck or car, and swap your vehicles for the day. Or perhaps you want an electric car but need to make that long distance trip once in a while. Now there's no excuse to not plugging in, because you can swap your car when you need to for something that goes further between stops. For now, the scheme is a pilot project, but we'd really like this to become reality for everyone sometime soon because it's a really good idea. Japanese automaker Nissan is so confident of its next-generation battery technology that it thinks it will eliminate range anxiety moving forward. That's according to Nissan's Philippe Klein, who said this week at the North American International Auto Show in Detroit that he believes the majority of drivers won't get range anxiety when Nissan launches its improved battery chemistry in a few years' time. The new pack, which will debut about the same time as the expected launch of Nissan's next-generation Leaf electric car, is generally expected to yield a range about double that of today's Leaf, without taking up any more space for the battery pack. But while Nissan has previously confirmed a double-range Leaf is on the way, Klein only hinted that the new battery pack would hit the market about the same time as the new Leaf. As for range, while we'd like to think that a 150-mile battery pack will be enough for most of us, we're sure someone somewhere will want more. That's just human nature. And finally, we head back to the North American International Auto Show in Detroit, where Volkswagen's luxury arm Audi has launched an all-new Q7 SUV, along with an e-tron plug-in hybrid variant, which will go on sale later this year. Like the Volvo XC90 T8, the all-new Q7 e-tron plug-in hybrid will sit at the top of the range, offering those with the extra cash the choice of benefiting from the performance boost and economy-improving qualities of a plug-in hybrid drivetrain. Unlike the XC90 T8, however, the Q7 e-tron will feature a permanently connected four-wheel drive system, mechanically rather than electronically linked, and a heat pump for in-car climate control. More efficient than traditional resistive heaters, the heat pump should help the Q7 e-tron reach its claimed 35 miles of all-electric range, although we're wondering how many miles it will manage in real life before its monstrous V6 diesel engine roars into life. Given this generation Q7 is more than 700 pounds lighter than its predecessor, however, we're hoping some Audi customers really will get into the spirit of hypermiling to see just how far they can go on electricity alone. That's it for this week. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode of T.E.N. And in the meantime, visit www.transportevolved.com for all the Evolved Transport news that's fit to print. And there's been lots this week that we haven't been able to fit into today's show, including a train which runs on battery power and 2 really good reasons why the Chevrolet Bolt is a terrible name for a car. Of course, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel by heading to www.youtube.com/Transport Evolved. And if you're interested, don't forget to join us live on Sunday at 1800 hours UTC for the Transport Evolved panel talk show, where we'll be discussing these stories and more. You can join us live via www.transportevolved.com or head to our YouTube channel to watch the live stream. And don't forget to visit our show sponsors at www.freeconference.co.uk. It doesn't matter if you're making work conference calls to New York or family calls to New Zealand. Free Conference lets you make and join telephone conference calls anywhere in the world for just the cost of a local call. To sign up and get calling today, visit freeconference.co.uk to set up your first call. I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield. Have a great weekend, and until next time, stay juiced up.